Welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And I thought we'd better dress up, well, because... Now, prepare yourself for our first ever WrestleMania review. So sit back, charge your glasses, grab your snacks...
and enjoy our take of Night 1 of WrestleMania 41.
Now, I don't know if they had the national anthem during kickoff or they've dropped it, but we didn't see it. Mind you, we were trying to get an extra few hours sleep in before it all kicked off. Anyway, after Triple H welcomed us to WrestleMania, we began with Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I thought they may start with, and did mention in one of our previous videos. Possibly WrestleMania Predictions Night 1 video, I think. I don't know, go take a look. So, we begin old school with a collar and elbow tie-up, with Gunther escaping the ring to gather his thoughts. Jey starts well with a power slam and kicks before heading up top, but Gunther chops him down, with Jey falling to the outside.
Jey returns to the ring, but Gunther then goes to work with even greater chops. Jey then spears, but only covers for 2. A superplex and powerbomb cover get a 2 for the Austrian, with Gunther then stalking his prey. But a quick spear and splash from the top rope get Jey another 2 count cover. Gunther then left the ring and collected his belt, threatening to leave. But as he walked past the ring, Jey set up for a dive out the ring, with the referee diving for cover and never saw Gunther use his belt to hit Jey. Gunther then got back in the ring and splashed Jey from the top rope, covering for 2.
The sleeper was then locked in, but Jey got to the ropes. Knees and chops rained down on Jey before the two exchanged multiple clotheslines, which Jey won out. Jey then countered a Gunther powerbomb into his own and followed up with 2 super kicks, a spear and 3 Uso splashes before locking in the sleeper. Gunther tapped and Jey became the new World Heavyweight Champion. Jimmy then appeared in the ring with the 2 brothers hugging, with the 2 then exiting through the crowd. I thought Gunther tapped a little bit early. If you wanted my opinion,
quite quick,
he tapped quite quickly. I thought he may have lasted a little bit longer.
Maybe not the fully putting him to sleep.
No, but just
tapping that soon. I didn't expect that.
I suppose you could see that Jey was going to win as soon as Gunther clocked him with the belt. Came off the top rope and Jey kicked out on 2. So I think you could be like, I think Jey's winning this.
I just knew anyway.
Because because you got. Did you guess that in the predictions?
I didn't guess.
Go check it out. Yes, go and check it out. But that was and as I say, I thought that would open. Because you want to draw people in.
Exactly.
And you ain't going to put the main event on, which was obviously the triple threat at the end. So the next biggest match, stick it on first, get the people
That's
in.
it.
Go and watch it.
Especially with a title change, you'll be like, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway. Next up, New Day versus the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. New Day going for the Giant Gonzalez look. War Raiders as Clash of Clans characters. Nice.
And I bet they felt ridiculous. Because they looked it.
Yeah, they did. Ivar got a crossbody on both New Day members against the ring skirt, although it's not a skirt. Before we head back in the ring with Kofi covering Eric after a double team for 2. Woods then comes back in and stomps Eric, covering again for 2. We then get a double elbow from Ivar as he takes out both Woods and Kingston. Ivar then just about hits his moonsault and covers, with Woods breaking it up with his limit break elbow from the top rope.
That moonsault was very similar to Brock Lesnar's on Kurt Angle. Many, many years. If you've seen it, you'll know what it is. He just makes it. And he's a big fella.
I think he slipped a bit on the rope.
Possibly.
I don't know, but...
If you can see it, watch it. But anyway, the Raiders then set up for War Machine, but as Ivar gets on the middle rope, Kofi grabs his legs, which the ref, of course, never saw. With Ivar down, Woods escaped Eric's grip and downed him with a big boot. New Day then hit Daybreak with Woods covering. As he did, Kofi grabbed Ivar's legs to stop him from kicking out, and it worked as Woods completed the cover, got the 3 and won the match for himself and Kingston, with New Day becoming the new World Tag Team Champions. 2 matches in, 2 belt changes.
Nice. Love it. Naomi versus Jade Cargill next, in, shall we say, a slight grudge match.
Cool.
Cargill started well, with the two then ending up outside with Naomi X-Factoring Jade to the floor, which she followed up with a blockbuster from the ring steps before heading back into the ring and covering for 2. Naomi controlled the match, even getting another pin attempt in, before Cargill countered with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and built her own momentum. Jade catches Naomi from the top rope, turning it into a power slam and then covering, but only for 2.
Incredible strength.
Yeah. Jade then catches Naomi again, turning it into a fall-away slam and showing incredible strength.
Amazing. She
We
was.
then...
I don't know how she caught. Like,
No, I know how she caught her as well.
Go and watch it. Go and watch it.
We then end up on the top rope with Naomi bulldogging Jade from there and then hitting a split-legged moonsault. The follow-up cover getting a 2. Cargill escapes, I believe, the rings of Saturn and then powers Naomi up onto her shoulders and manages to spin her around and powerbomb her all in the same movement. Incredible. It looks so good.
Yeah, it did.
Naomi then gets jaded, with the follow-up cover getting Cargill the victory and possibly ending this feud.
Well, we'll have to wait. It should do. I mean, she's got her revenge, but Cargill's power is incredible.
So strong. Love it.
The United States Championship was on the line next as LA Knight defends his title against Jacob Fatu, Knight arriving in a Maserati. An early neckbreaker allows LA to attempt BFT, which Fatu counters, leaving Knight perplexed at how. Jacob then starts his own offence with a pop-up Samoan drop and power slam after catching Knight mid-air and slamming him down to the mat. Knight, though, turns things around, ramming Fatu into 2 ring posts before climbing to the middle rope and dropping the elbow. The cover gets 2. Knight foils a moonsault and then throws the Samoan from the top rope and covers for 2.
A super kick puts the megastar in the corner, with Fatu following up with 2 hip attacks and a swanton, covering again for 2. Fatu went to the well a little too often as Jacob goes for a moonsault, which Knight caught mid-fall and turned into a BFT. The cover gets a 2 as Fatu got his hands on the bottom rope. Knight went up top this time, but Fatu stopped him from doing anything by kicking away his leg and then Samoan dropped LA from the top rope. Fatu then hit 2 moonsaults and covered Knight for the 1-2-3, becoming the new US champion and was congratulated at ringside by Haku. 3 title matches down and 3 new champions.
Now, Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix now, as his original opponent Rey Mysterio picked up an injury on last night's SmackDown. Now, before the match, we see Vikingo from AAA. If I've got that wrong and I've butchered his name, I apologise. And he was in the crowd with El Chad confronting him, but he suffered a kick to the head before his bout with Fenix. A Hurricanrana gets Rey a 2-count cover, which he follows up with a top rope missile dropkick and then crossbody to the outside. Back in the ring, El Grande German suplexes Rey with the 2 exchanging moves until Americano does a 450 and lands on his back on Fenix. Never seen anything like it. It looked amazing.
It did.
Anyway, the cover gets a 2. Fenix then tries to run the ropes, but Grande knocks him off with the ref then checking on him.
At this point, Americano pulls the metal out of his ring gear and places it in his mask. Fenix counters the incoming headbutt and hits a goodbye amigo, but upon landing complains about his foot, presumably because he kicked the metal plate in Grande's mask.
What metal plate?
Americano then locked in the ankle lock, which Rey reversed into a cover, but only for 2. Rey then goes for a springboard, but Americano catches him with a headbutt, which was the beginning of the end. Americano then heads to the top rope and lands a flying/falling headbutt. This was enough to end the match as El Grande Americano covered and picked up his first WrestleMania win.
Now, imagine how Rey Fenix would have felt when he was like, right, Rey's injured.
I know.
Mr. Fenix, you're up. I bet he was absolutely like, oh my God.
Few weeks.
They could have let Orton fight El Grande. Mind
True,
you, it had to be
yeah.
a luchador.
Exactly.
That's not the point though.
Yeah.
But I bet
it could have been Dragon Lee. He's been there a bit longer, do you know what I mean? But
to
Phoenix
call him
is-
Rey Phoenix, he's been there for
it's a
5
big name,
minutes.
yeah, I
That's
know,
I bet he was absolutely buzzing. Anyway, out next is the greatest wrestler of all time,
Cena's not until tomorrow.
Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels, to tell us the attendance. And for anyone that wants to know, it's 61,467.
Penultimate match of the night, Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte Flair for the Women's WWE Championship. Stratton arriving in a box. Flair in a roller. It starts with a scrap with the two heading out of the ring with Stratton throwing Flair into the ring post before they head back inside the ropes with Stratton going for an early cover, only for 2. Flair then takes it to the champ, picking her off and taking her time, driving her head into the mat and then locking in a Boston Crab, though Stratton rolls through. We then get 2 tumbling back elbows followed by a spinebuster, rolling senton and basement drop kick, all culminating in a 2 count cover. A big boot soon slows Stratton down with Flair covering for 2. The two then exchange chops with Flair sit down powerbombing Stratton for another 2 count cover.
Things got a little sloppy at times, but we got back on track with a crossbody from Flair off the top rope, which Stratton rolled through and covered for 2. Flair then went high again, but Stratton pushed her down, which tweaked Flair's knee. Before Stratton could do any damage though, Flair wrapped Stratton's knee around the ring post before locking in the figure 4. Stratton got away after hitting Flair's bad knee and then hit a rolling senton and prettiest moonsault ever. Only Flair got the knees up and rolled up the champ, again only for 2. Flair went high risk again, hitting natural selection from the top rope, the cover getting 2. Tiffany then reacted quickest by hitting Flair with a rolling senton and then the prettiest moonsault ever. Stratton went for the cover and got it, retaining her title and the first to successfully defend her title on the night.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
Oh, God,
that she won.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Flair to win.
Nobody wants Flair to win.
Nobody wanted that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are we actually allowed to give opinions? Yes, we are. We wanted Stratton to win, and she did.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah, and obviously you said it was a bit sloppy. I found that. I don't know whether it was just Flair obviously not wrestling as much. She's been
Possibly,
out for a while,
yeah,
so
yeah,
just a bit
yeah. I mean,
rusty.
she's had a few warm-up matches, but
it was a bit.
Yeah, and when she tried to get her up for the power bomb,
I
think
think
both of
she
them.
struggled.
Flair struggled to pick her up, but maybe Stratton didn't help as well. So I think
I don't think she's strong enough. I don't think she's strong. She used to be.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Anyway, we then caught up with this year's Hall of Famers, learned that Bayley's out of tomorrow night's women's tag match, leaving Valkyrie to find someone else.
Randy Orton. He said he'd have his boots on.
Fair enough, yeah. And then steel ourselves for the night's main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a triple threat. Seth's out first, burning it down, before the screens black out and we come back with the self-proclaimed saviour of the industry, Seth Christ Rollins, even adorned with a crown of thorns. He was probably like that because it's Easter. Reigns out next, also with white to his ring gear, gauntlets and boots, and then finally Punk, who has white stars on his trunks. Paul Heyman by his side and played out live by Living Colour. Reigns has to remove and place his own Ulafala down, with the bell then ringing and the match getting underway.
After Seth dives out of the ring at Reigns and throws him into the ring steps, Punk and Rollins take it into the crowd, with Punk using a chair and trash can to soften up Seth. They fight back towards the ring, with Reigns diving at both and then dominating his opponents with a Samoan drop to Punk and punch to Seth. It's Punk's turn next as he hits running knees to both men before hitting twin DDTs, one normal, one inverted at the same time. Punk drops an elbow on Rollins before slamming Roman and then climbs to the top rope again, only he gets caught by Seth, with Roman also getting involved. Between them, Seth suffers a doomsday device, with Roman then Superman punching Punk and covering for 2. Punk and Reigns then exchange punches, with Punk locking in the Anaconda Vice, a frog splash from Seth that breaks it up, with him then covering Roman for 2.
Seth deals out 2 buckle bombs, one each for his opponents, before Roman spears Punk and then tries Seth. But Seth counters the spear into a pedigree and then stomps Roman, going for the cover afterwards. The ref counts 2. Seth climbs to the top, misses on landing and goes straight to Punk's shoulders. He escapes the potential GTS but gets speared anyway, with Punk then GTSing Reigns and covering for 2. Seth then pedigrees Punk, covering for 2, with Seth then saying to Roman that he's the outsider, meaning Punk, and encouraging Reigns to work with him. Reigns seems torn, then teases to team up with Seth, only for Reigns to hit Seth and then put Punk through the announcer's desk.
Seth suffers the same fate and gets put through the Spanish announcer's table before Reigns tosses Rollins back into the ring, spears him and then covers. Somehow Rollins kicks out on 2. Punk comes back but gets caught up in Roman's guillotine. He escapes, put Reigns in the Anaconda Vice again and then loses out to Seth, who locks Punk in the sharpshooter. Reigns breaks it up, putting Seth in the guillotine, with Seth then suplexing Reigns into a pin, which of course Reigns escapes from, but still having the guillotine locked in.
Punk then stomps Reigns, GTS's Seth and covers. Seth kicks out on 2. After taking a minute, as all men are down, Punk GTS's Seth again, but as soon as he has, Reigns spears him, with Seth then stomping Reigns, with all 3 men then down again. We then see Heyman walk over to the timekeeper's area and retrieve a chair. He slowly walks back to the ring and slides it to Punk, after teasing who to slide it to, with both Reigns and Punk looking at Paul for the chair. Heyman gets in the ring, directing Punk towards hapless Reigns when he drops to his knees and low blows him. Heyman then proceeds to offer the chair to Roman, who takes it and wails on Punk. After Punk, it's Seth's turn, with Heyman guiding Reigns towards him. Heyman fools us all again by getting behind Reigns and low blowing him. The crowd can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
As Heyman then picks up the chair and offers it to Seth, who gladly takes it and hits Reigns with it.
Good.
Seth stomps Reigns, covers and picks up the victory in this epic battle of top dogs.
I mean, I know I got this prediction wrong,
I got it right.
but I'm happy by that. I wanted Seth to win.
Yes,
I
yeah, you
preferred him
did.
out
And
than
yeah,
Flair.
you just didn't think he would, but
I
yeah.
didn't think he would because
Fair.
I wanted him to win, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Heyman turned on everyone.
Oh my
Love
word,
it.
that's. I mean, the narrative now for that, Punk's going
I
to be
think
like.
I don't know if it was just when we spoke or if I did ever mention it on a video, because I can't remember, but I said something about, will he go with Seth?
Yeah, that's just probably a throwaway
Yeah,
line.
but
I mean, the thing
it's
is,
there.
surely Punk is going to be more disappointed because the best is.
Exactly.
See, for Reigns, he was just a worker,
Yeah.
wasn't he? He was just an underling, just somebody there.
Yeah.
So Roman's.
Well, he was always there.
So Roman can't really be that bothered. I mean, he'll be bothered, but it's
Of course he will.
that's all right.
Yeah.
Whereas Punk, he's going to be absolutely devastated.
Of course.
So that'll be interesting. And why he decides to go with Seth. It can't just be because he didn't stomp him. I mean, that's a bit much. But then all the title changes. That was good because you don't expect that. I mean, you do, but you don't.
Maybe
not
one,
that many.
maybe 2, but
Certainly not 3.
first 3 matches?
No. Well, title matches, yes, because obviously the third one was Cargill. But,
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, I said Punk, not Punk, I said Fatu. Go and check out the
you
predictions. I did say Fatu. I just think it'll cause a bit of friction between him and Solo.
Definitely.
Because he brought the title back, and then Solo's going to be like, I want to challenge you for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for sticking with us. And if you enjoyed that, give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. But whatever you choose, thank you so much for watching.
And hopefully we'll see you Monday for night 2 of WrestleMania 41.